G'day trendsetters, I'm John with Gravel Cyclist and I'm coming to you today with a product feature from my good friends at Garmin, namely the newest computer to join their lineup. This is the Edge Explore 2, and the interesting thing is just a few weeks ago they launched the 1040 and 1040 Solar, this being the flagship computer. This is a very advanced computer. This machine here is more of a focus on navigation and not so much on performance features and other advanced tech like you'll find in the 1040 Solar. It's also priced a lot friendlier than the Garmin Solar. So let's talk about some of the features of the Garmin Edge Explore 2. Let's pop open the lid and see what's inside here. Here we are, the new Edge Explorer. Now, one thing, this utilizes the USB-C connector in line with the Solar unit I was chatting about earlier, the 1040. Now, if we flip it over, they haven't utilized the nice metal backing of the 1040, which is a bit of a bummer. I have broken these in the past, so anyway, fingers crossed this is toughened up, that sort of thing. And you've got your usual stop the workout, your lap reset, power on, off, etc. It's a pretty nice looking unit and a 3-inch color screen. Now it's time to see what else we get in the box. So there's the Edge Explorer. Now you have a couple of stem mounts. Let's make sure that's in focus. There you go, a couple of stem mounts to mount the Edge Explorer 2 to. And well, that is it. They don't actually provide too many mounts for this particular machine. Here is the manual, Edge Explorer 2, recharging cable, USB-C, a lanyard, and important safety and product information. Now, a lot of you are going to wonder, how much does the Garmin Edge Explorer 2 weigh? There we go, 104 grams. Hold that thought for 1 second. Let's also add on a couple of the strap mounts for the stem mount. And there's the little rubber base piece and the stem mount plate itself. Now, some people might think it's kind of kludgy, but this is actually pretty reliable. I ran my first Garmin 1000 or whatever it was on this setup for a long time. Okay, look at that, 110 grams. Here's a look at the Edge Explorer 2 versus some of the other computers in size. This is a 1030 Plus. This is a 1040 Solar, and let's squeeze another one in here. This is an Edge 830. So let's just compare the two newest computers. So here's the Edge Explorer 2 and there's the Solar. So you can see it's definitely a thicker device. And as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have the metal twist interface of the 1040 models. But if we compare this to the 1030, it's a little bit smaller, obviously. If you put them back to back like that, very similar thickness, a bit shorter. And here it is, powering up. Loading courses and locations. Now, in the last video where I showed the 1040 Solar, this screen looks very familiar. And here is, in fact, the last ride and courses I have already loaded. So I've already knocked out a couple of rides on this computer prior to actually shooting this video. But as you can see, it's a pretty nice, clear-looking screen. And according to Garmin, you're going to get about 16 hours out of this computer, or 24 hours if you enable the battery saver mode. So the menus here are very similar to the Edge 1040, 1040 Solar, etc. So you've got training, activity profile sensors, my stats, safety and tracking. You can connect your phone, battery saver mode, guest mode system, and connect IQ and so on. So if I just go back there and tap on the, let's go to the course I've loaded. There's only one so far. That was a rather long ride, I have to say. Bit of a sufferfest, to be honest with you. With a bunch of mates. Anyway, so you can see here, 169 Ks of riding. They're expecting, well, the computer's expecting 7 hours 24. So Where this machine differs from, say, the 1040 I keep mentioning, that machine has more performance metrics, so it can often give you an idea of what to expect on the ride, how many climbs and so on. So you don't get as much of that. But you do get some stats available for what to expect in the coming ride. So again, like I said, it's more of a computer designed for navigation and so on. And the navigation does work very, very well, and hopefully I can overlay a few screens so you can see what's going on. In fact, also let's check out the history here. So we'll go to summary. And let me see. So I rode on this particular day, this was recorded on the 9th of July. So 182K, so that's over 100 miles. 5 hours, 37 ride time, so we weren't hanging around. So over 20 mile an hour average. This was a road ride, average heart rate and that sort of stuff in North Florida, so not a ton of ascending, etc. But, you know, you've got plenty of detail here. It's a lot of detail, I think. And here is some of the data from just my heart rate alone. I didn't have a power meter connected for this ride, but you can see first hour, average speed kept climbing most of the ride, actually, and pretty much hour 6 it was done for. But you got your average heart rate during the ride. So hour 1, 133, 155, 163, 164, 168 for hour 5. So yeah, I think there's enough performance metrics, to be honest with you, for this computer to really satisfy a lot of folks. And the price is very good at only, well, relatively speaking, $299, which isn't necessarily going to break the bank. Some of the navigation functions, you can browse a map, check out courses, search. Now, there's a lot of nice search functionality, so let's just tap that. And you see just some of the POIs here: points of interest, bike, shops and repairs, convenience stores, restrooms, water stops, coffee shops, parks, wineries and breweries, banks and ATMs, restaurants, emergency, recreation, attractions, lodging, transportation, shopping, and community. Alternatively, if you don't want any of that stuff, you can just go to search tools and you can punch in addresses, intersections, or even coordinates and so on. So there's a lot of options. Under sensors, you can see I've got a heart rate strap paired. It's not obviously being worn right now. Add sensor, and there's a bunch of sensors here. So it's not like this machine is lacking for performance options, really. But even here, you've got, starting at the top, heart rate, speed cadence, verb, which is the Garmin camera, lights, radar, power meter, inReach, edge remote, Shimano steps and eBike. Those are both eBike type things, and a smart trainer. Connect IQ. Well, you can obviously connect to the IQ store for Garmin. You need to pair your phone. I usually don't pair my phone, but it's pretty easy to do. And then obviously you'll involve the Garmin app on your phone. So under the menu, activity profiles. Now, I've already modified one, and I can't see a way to copy one of these or create a new one, unfortunately. So I modified the existing one. The first one, the default was MTB. I named it course. But you can see the only thing you can do is you can rename it, you can change the color, but there's no copy option. At the top of the home screen, you have your selector for your activity profiles. So in my case, I've got the customized course, road, and you've got indoor as well. So if you select on course, this screen relates to navigation. So I like to know how far I've got to ride and that sort of thing. So in this case, distance to destination, time to destination, ETA, distance to next, time to next, and remaining meters of climbing. And this is the mapping screen. It's a nice looking screen now. I'll show you some examples. So now here is the main screen I like to ride from. You can modify this to your heart's content, obviously. So I like to use speed, distance, temperature, total calories, heart rate, time of day, timer. I need to modify that, don't need heart rate again, and grade. And here's your altitude screen. Obviously, there's no activity running right now. There's plenty of options, and I've customized this quite a lot for your activity profiles. I've added some additional data screens and so on. Now, under navigation, if you go to map, you can change the appearance and so on. These are really pretty maps, I think. It's nice to have a nice color screen in this day and age, I reckon. You can change the map detail. You can also go to the advanced mode, and there's shading, relief, and contours and all sorts of goodness going on. can also view popularity map options. Go back, go to routing. Now here's a popularity routing. So that might be useful for some folks who roll into an area and want to try and figure out a route. And here is what's interesting, avoidance setup. So major highways. I mean, not much of this has changed from older releases, but high traffic roads. Now that's something you want to avoid. And I have tested that. Now you also still keep options such as Climb Pro. I absolutely love that functionality. So nice. Judge your effort on a long climb or a short climb. And there's tons of details you can modify within the activity profile. So alerts and prompts, you got sharp bend warnings, high traffic warnings. Now here's one I like to use in the lap. I trigger an auto lap and I do it by time at every hour, and I have a custom lap banner. So that just means every hour, Field 1 displays calories burned over the past hour, the average heart rate, and how far I've ridden. Just something I like to know. I don't have to think about it. And there's just so many options you can plug into this thing. So it's a really advanced computer, even though its focus is mostly on navigation. Additional options available from the home menu. You've got training. So there is some rudimentary sort of things you can do with this. Like I said, it's mostly aimed at navigation and not necessarily performance. So pretty rudimentary stuff. Under safety and tracking, you've got incident detection, get assistance, emergency contacts, live track and group track. Those are really nice features, but you need to have your phone paired to utilize those. The final thing I wanted to relay about the new Edge Explore 2 is its vastly improved touchscreen. I had the opportunity to ride it recently in some steady rain for about an hour or two, and with the screen locked, it did not misbehave once, which is something I cannot say for some of the older Garmin units such as the 1030, etc. And I can also say the same of the new Edge 1040 Solar. So kudos to Garmin for working on that part of the technology. So there you have it, my features video of sorts. It's not a review and it's not every single feature you'll find within the Edge Explore 2, but I hope that this video gives you enough of an insight into the machine versus the standard press release you might find posted elsewhere. As always, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel for content such as this. No bullshit gravel bike reviews, other product reviews, ride experience videos, and general madness. As all of it is released to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.